basics. Like, I know each love language and a little bit about them.
I think they're really interesting. Like, I read the book and everything, and I think they're a really good way to deepen your connection with someone and understand them better. Gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. I don't know, I haven't looked in literature to prove if they help or see if it's actually scientific, but I think it's kind of like other personality tools where it can be a good way to engage in self-reflection, which is helpful even if there isn't a scientific backing for it. So I guess probably there's not real scientific backing, but it could be helpful anyway.
I wouldn't necessarily say I base my relationships off of them, but I think it definitely helps in making a relationship stronger. So
I don't think directly, I'm not actively thinking oh, this person's love language is this, so I'm gonna do this, but I think in the back of my mind, I'm okay, I can show a person that I care most through this way, even though I'm not directly labeling it as their love language or my love language or something like that.
Although you've probably heard about the idea of love languages, it's likely that you don't know much about where the idea came from and how it was developed. The 5 love languages were developed by Dr. Gary Chapman and originally published in the book The 5 Love Languages in 1992. Dr. Gary Chapman received his PhD in adult education from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, and he spent most of his career as a marriage counselor and in a pastoral setting. From his work with couples, he claims he began to notice that problems seemed to rise in marriages due to interpersonal differences in how they preferred to show love and care. Chapman proposed that people tend to prefer expressing love in one of 5 different ways: words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service, quality time, and gift giving. He acknowledges that, while most people will use all of these languages, every person has their most preferred ways of showing love to another person. Problems arise when, for example, a wife's primary love language is words of affirmation, and her husband's is gift giving. Without proper communication, the marriage might feel unfulfilling, as the wife receives all sorts of gifts but never hears the loving words she wants to hear. And the husband might feel forgotten, as his wife says with words that she cares, but doesn't demonstrate her love through meaningful gifts. Chapman's 5 love languages have been an influential book in pop psychology for decades now. Over 12 million copies of the book have been sold worldwide, and it's remained on the New York Times bestseller list since 2007. Chapman's 5 love languages have been adapted to apply to most every age and relationship type. Chapman has written books applying the love languages to children, parents, teenagers, educators, the workplace, and even a person's spiritual relationship with God. For more information on Chapman's 5 love languages, you can visit 5lovelanguages.com.
Now that you are more familiar with the background and history of the love languages and where they came from, let's talk about some of the science behind this idea. While the idea of love languages has been so popular, it is important to look at whether love languages are backed by scientific research or they're just a popular idea created and spread through the media. By understanding this, we can better understand people and the relationships that they create.
As stated previously, Chapman is credited with coming up with the 5 love languages that are so popular today. However, many of his claims lacked empirical evidence. Many researchers have now taken upon themselves to dive deeper into the idea of love languages to better understand the science behind the idea and how they relate to the other aspects of life.
How to specifically measure love languages has been an issue that researchers have faced. There have been many different scales utilized by researchers regarding this collection of data for the 5 love languages. Some studies have used the love languages scale. Others have used Chapman's love languages personal profile for couples, or have even attempted to create their own scales that encompass the 5 love languages. There isn't just one way used to measure love languages.
Studies have been done to identify whether the 5 love languages that Chapman created have validity. A few studies have helped provide empirical evidence toward Chapman's 5 love languages. Researchers Egbert and Polk found that Chapman's 5 factors adequately describe the individual differences in style and preferences used to show love, and confirmed that the 5 categories were the best way to approach understanding the love languages. They also found that the 5 love languages correlate significantly with Stafford, Dainton, and Haas's empirically based relationship maintenance typology, which includes assurances, openness, positivity, sharing tasks, social networks, and conflict management. It was found that the maintenance technique of sharing tasks was correlated with the love language of quality time. Social networks correlated with gift giving. Assurances and shared tasks both correlated with physical touch, and shared tasks and social networks correlated with acts of service. This research suggests that a couple's preferred love language might give meaningful insights into the way they should go about relationship maintenance and repair.
Researchers have confirmed the fact that there is validity behind some of Chapman's ideas. However, they seem to disagree on the correct model of the love languages. Some researchers have evidence for 4 love languages, and some have found support for Chapman's initial 5 love languages. Some researchers have promoted the consolidation of the acts of service and gifts into one single love language. With that said, it is obvious that more research needs to be done to better understand the correct model for presenting love languages. Research has also aimed to look specifically at how love languages relate to different aspects of relationships, such as relationship satisfaction. The way that love languages influence relationship quality remains unclear. One study found that the level of distress in relationships is lesser where the love languages are congruent among partners. However, a different study found that there is no significant relationship between having partners aligned love languages and reporting higher relationship satisfaction, which contradicts previous studies. Again, due to the contradicting idea, more work needs to be done to better understand these relationships.
Finally, it is important to look at the love languages with regards to the specific aspects of the personality sphere. In one study designed to compare the love languages and the Big 5 personality factors, it was found that the Big 5 personality traits correlated to an extent to certain love languages. Extroversion had a correlation with physical touch and words of affirmation. Someone who is high in extroversion is considered to have better interpersonal communication skills in general. Words of affirmation is a verbal behavior based on communication, and it makes sense that these two might be positively correlated. Additionally, extroversion has been correlated with affection and pleasure in previous research. This might explain the correlation between extroversion and physical touch. On the other hand, the trait neuroticism is correlated to control and avoiding interpersonal communication. Therefore, there is no relationship between any of the love languages and neuroticism. It is easy to see that the different aspects of the field of personality relates to the research done on love languages.
A lot of research out there has looked specifically at undergraduate college students, which makes this a very relevant topic to those watching this video. While the data is a bit contradictory, more research is being done to further define these relationships and understand the benefits of using Chapman's love languages. A major takeaway from this video is that there is some science to support the use of love languages, and that the knowledge of the love languages might enhance the relationships of some people. However, there is still a lot of work to be done to better understand the true benefits of using love languages to shape interpersonal relationships. We hope you were able to learn more about what the love languages are, the history behind them, and the current work being done on them in research today. If you have any questions regarding the research of love languages, please refer to references.